Welcome to the Josh and Ashlee Show, the only show for entrepreneur families that want to talk about amazingness, how to grow their business, how to leave a legacy for their family, and of course, weird random things. I'm joined by my high school sweetheart of 20 years who I convinced to marry me a long time ago, 20 years ago, with my famous locker slam. Any other high school sweethearts watching this right now? I think there's a special thing when you're married to your high school sweetheart. I actually asked Ashlee out by walking up to her locker and going, whoosh, hey, how's it going? Famous story. No, famous to 11 people that have heard that story. Today we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Ash, how you doing over there with your giant Santa cup?
Oh my goodness, I'm feeling my best life. I'm sorry, I wasn't talking into my microphone. I was talking into my straw. Oh my gosh. Woo! Okay, well, I got my new Santa cup, and I got my nutcracker outfit, and I'm just like, feeling very festive.
You know how to make anything work for you. You really do. I'm a little biased.
Can I be honest? I bought this. This is I bought this from a thrift store, and I thought I'll be cool and just I see these designers doing something it's kind of nutcracker-ish, but when I brought it home, it made me look like I was trying to be Michael Jackson. So I'm just wearing it for the show, so it's not a waste, but it'll probably be going back to the Goodwill or the costume closet at Work Plan Studios so they can have a band costume.
I have a question for everybody watching this right now, and for you, Ashlee, and for Jared, and for Maverick, and for Jimmy Will over there. I don't know if Jimmy Will's mic'd up today or not, but what is your favorite food to eat for Christmas? Are you a ham person? Some people pizza. Some people order Chinese food for Christmas.
Chinese food for sure.
What is it?
Chinese food for sure. We last year we've done it for a couple years now, but we would actually go to a Chinese hot pot place, and it's because it was cold, and so soup is great, and it's a whole thing. But they're one of the only restaurants open, so we'll have brunch, but then it's Chinese food for dinner for sure.
Okay. Jimmy Will, what about you?
My family, we go and we get all the frozen mozzarella sticks and the potato skins, and we just have a feast on pizza rolls and all of that stuff.
Really?
That is so epic. That is amazing. I love it so much. Oh my gosh.
Issues for the
Diarrhea.
It's all part of the experience. Yep, absolutely.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all an explosive night. My favorite, I have been known to shove quite a few Christmas cookies down my gullet. I love all festive things. So if you say it's something Christmas, I'm doing it. But I love breakfast pizza. Your mom actually introduced us to breakfast pizza, and so every Christmas morning we wake up to breakfast pizza, and so we do that. And then we also love to go to the movies sometimes. Sometimes we go to the movies on Christmas. We've been known to do that.
That's not a food, but that is a
Okay, but popcorn. So I think of popcorn.
Have you ever went to the movies, bought popcorn just to bring it home to eat it, but didn't watch a movie? That's a thing people do. Do you know that?
Yeah, because I've done that before.
Maverick is a huge popcorn aficionado, right, Maverick? Maverick, what's your favorite Christmas food?
Ooh, my favorite Christmas food is. Usually it's kind of random. Sometimes we'll go out to eat. Sometimes we'll eat something but popcorn's got to be my favorite thing because it's good in every situation. You can't go wrong with it.
Now,
It's very versatile.
I gotta add to Maverick's thing. This is gonna add to what Maverick's. You're probably like, why doesn't Maverick have? You probably didn't want to say breakfast pizza, but we have lived, in different countries, in different places. We've had Christmas in different places a lot as entrepreneurs in the last little bit, and so nothing's been normal. Last year, we went to SeaWorld as a family because we were doing something different. So the only tradition we have is that there is no tradition anymore.
Sometimes traditions morph. And by the way, I'm about to reveal the most popular Christmas meal in Japan, which breaks my brain. You will not guess what it is. If you think you know, type it in the comments. But anyway, traditions can become slavery sometimes, right? Families get, not that traditions are bad. Traditions are awesome, but they can get fatigued, right? And then we hold on to the tradition instead of just holding on to the people or being open to new ideas. And that's not good. That kind of defeats the purpose of the tradition in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think Japan's favorite Christmas food is, Ash?
Well, I already know the answer, so I don't think I'm allowed to say, but I would say it has something to do with a man with a white beard. I mean goatee. It is Colonel Sanders, everybody. KFC for the win.
KFC. How is this true? I have not fully vetted this, but according to the internet, that is such a huge thing in Japan that they have to order
definitely a KFC fan, but probably not on Christmas. That's just kind of strange.
That
But
is weird.
Says the man who eats Asian food.
yeah, but I feel like that's more like
During
a common
Christmas.
thing. I mean, think about all the Christmas movies, like A Christmas Story. They go to Chinese food for dinner because they blow up their turkey. I mean, there's a bunch. I feel like that is more of a tradition, at least in America, than KFC.
I agree. I've heard a lot of Chinese buffet and Christmas stories. I don't think I've ever done that.
You didn't tell us what your favorite food is, Josh. We need to know what your favorite food is.
My favorite food Christmas. I should
Something not
probably-
green,
Probably Brussels sprouts and salad.
with a little bit of extra herbs and all the things.
If anybody knows my husband, they know that is totally false. He doesn't eat anything green unless it's like green food coloring.
I like mint chip ice cream.
That doesn't count. That does not count
Why?
as a
It's great.
green food. But anyways, I want to give a big happy birthday and shout out to the man, the myth, and the legend, Pat Clark. Pat Clark is one of our friends, and we found out that it was his birthday today. So this one's for you, Pat Clark. Cheers to you.
Happy
my goodness.
birthday to Pat Clark. Happy birthday
To Pat Clark.
Pat has a crazy story. Maybe you have a crazy entrepreneur story, but he grew up in just abject poverty, like severely abused and neglected. I mean, who he is and what he's built, and marrying his wife and having 100 kids like us is pretty incredible. And he's the most like thankful and positive person you'll ever meet. So we love you, Pat. You're awesome. Merry Christmas and happy birthday. You know, having a birthday around Christmas is one of the ways kids kind of get screwed over out of their presents, right? Because then you just get the same amount of presents, but they're like, oh, it's for both. It's for your birthday and for your thing, right? Is that what happened to your dad with his birthdays?
His birthday's the 28th, yeah.
Well, I have some other weird holiday facts. Okay, you ready? The origin of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. What would you find on that, Ash? You brought that to me.
Well, I found out that it was a marketing gimmick, actually, and it was by none other than the store Montgomery Ward's, which a lot of you do not know what that store is, but I actually remember what a Montgomery Ward's was. I used to love it. It's kind of like a JCPenney, which I think are going on the outs as well. I don't think JCPenney's going to be around for too much longer, but Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer started there. It was a gimmick. It was a marketing campaign. See, everything is marketing,
That's
even
what it shows us.
Rudolph. Rudolph was marketing.
Well, he's an adorable little character. I mean, there's songs about him, there's movies about him, there's merch and swag. I wonder who owns the rights to the character or how that works. We should look that up.
I'll look it up right now.
Because, all the stuffed animals and the hats and the swag and all the stuff, if a company invented it or paid a marketing agency to come up with it, that's just fascinating to me. Another fun fact is that Jingle Bells, the song, okay, prepare to have your childhood memories destroyed, ready? Jingle Bells is not a Christmas song. Jingle Bells was written for Thanksgiving, which also doesn't make sense because it doesn't talk about turkey or Thanksgiving at all.
No,
So-
but you're dashing through the snow.
Yeah, but Thanksgiving,
mean-
there's not that much snow. I don't know where these people were that wrote the song.
I don't know, but I'm here for it. A Thanksgiving banger. That's what they always say. Don't you want a Thanksgiving banger? And we had a Thanksgiving banger the whole time. It's just been hijacked by Christmas. And you know how much people make off of these Christmas songs? Holy cow. The royalties. We just need to make up a Thanksgiving jingle and a Christmas jingle and just done.
What were you going to say, Jared?
So we actually found some information on it. It says Jingle Bells was written obviously as a Thanksgiving song. On October 3rd, 1863, Abraham Lincoln issued a Thanksgiving proclamation setting aside the last Thursday of November as the National Day for Thanksgiving, and that's the song they sang with it.
It's so weird.
Wait. That was...
Abraham Lincoln was linked to Jingle
Way to go, Abe.
Just another
Let's
notch in that
give
guy's
it up for
accomplishment.
Abe. Man, you don't get recognized for that kind of stuff, and that's like classic.
So the next one will be interesting, Ash. It says that 1/3 of men wait to the very last minute to go Christmas shopping. So first of all, obviously, because that's my life. Like I haven't done any shopping yet, right?
I fall into there as well.
Why is it? What is it about men and women? What's the difference? What do you think? What's your theory?
What is my theory?
Yeah.
Oh, are you ready? I don't know because I don't live with all men. I think as an entrepreneur wife, this is what I will say. As an entrepreneur wife, entrepreneurs are very forward moving, momentum moving, and big vision. And sometimes it's hard for them to slow down. and then they just slow down and they're like, wait, what? It's Christmas? I didn't even know. Like, what? Because they're so busy working on their business. At least that's in our case. That is what happens sometimes.
I don't know if it's an entrepreneur thing. I just think it's a man thing. Is it because we
I think it's because
procrastinate more in general?
No. I actually think, I don't know this to be true, but a lot of men are in the moment, not like built up off the memories and the this and that. Like, men don't really love holidays in general.
Maybe that's what it is. So they're not as sentimental.
Yes. They are not as sentimental. That's probably what it is. But I will tell you, I lost my mind. I don't remember what I was going to say. I had a great thing, but then you asked me that question.
It's the Nutcracker.
You know what? I think I got to take it off. That's probably what it was. It just sucked my brain dry.
I have a theory.
Sure.
Basically, I think men are more straightforward. So when men go shopping, it's basically like, okay, this out. When women go shopping, and even in women's conversations, they're all over the place, you know? And so they enjoy it more, and they take more time, and they like, when we go into a store to pick up like eggs, milk, and something else, we'll come out with tons of things we didn't even go in for. When men go into the store, they'll go in and then come out with less than what they needed. Like like that's how it works. So I don't think men go in there and they just like look around like, ooh, this is nice. I think they get narrowed down to what they need and then they get out.
Oh yeah, because like shopping for women is an experience. Like I have to go to Target and let Target tell me what I need. I need to go to Kohl's and let the Kohl's cash make me spend more money on my Kohl's cash and let Kohl's tell me, oh, does this look like my grandma? No, it doesn't. Does this one, like I have to touch the things and smell the things and do all the I'm just playing into their marketing scheme. That's it.
I think Maverick just gave like insanely accurate and wise input on that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I wasn't thinking of it like that. I think you're exactly right, Maverick. That's super smart. And we did not talk about this before the show, but yeah, you've been to the store with me. I'm in and out. I like divide and conquer. If I take my three boys to the store, I'm like, you go get this, you go get this, you go get this. We're gonna meet right here, and we like boom, boom, boom. It's like a Navy SEAL operation to see how many minutes we can be out of there. That's not how women are. And then with the thoughts, yeah, like a woman's brain, everything's connected to everything, and men have a tendency to be more, directionally pointed at this task, just complete this task. Plus, I don't think we know what to buy. So, like, if I had a Christmas list, I would just go get the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
For me to just pontificate about, I don't know, would they want this? It's like a nightmare for me to even think about that. I think we solved it.
We solved the world's problems, everybody. And can I tell you my favorite look? Ladies, if you're in the comments, I need you to start commenting below if you have ever done this before. Actually, maybe you shouldn't because it throws your husband off. Maybe just type Merry Christmas so we know. But have your kids ever been opening up Christmas presents and your husband is just as surprised as the kids? Because he has no idea what you bought.
And then the kids say, thanks, Dad. I'm like, no problem. I got you.
But in your defense, you help pay for it. That's what I always say. So, like, you help pay for it.
It's a critical role.
Yeah, that's the most important part of the process.
Did you know? Okay, we got a couple more of these funny traditions. Well, this one's not a tradition, but the Visa, Visa, MasterCard, Visa is used 6,000 times per minute during the holiday season, which is amazing. I actually thought that was low. I thought it'd be higher, but that's interesting. But here's a deadly one. 400,000 people a year die. Is it die or get sick?
Sick. Well, I like the death part. You can add the death part.
Way more
very
dramatic to say
marketing.
die.
Yeah, very more.
400,000 people a year get really sick. Okay, I don't know. Maybe not even really. They get sick because of holiday leftovers. This is a public service announcement to save you from making a bad choice, right? It's day 4 after the Christmas party. You see that pumpkin pie sitting there and you just want to go after it, or you see that turkey in a bag or the leftover Chinese food. My God, avoid it. Run. Run. You can wait till next Christmas to get some more of that. Get some fresh food. Save a life.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Will's family could just deep fry it again and it's good. You just deep fry it and you just deep fry those mozzarella sticks, throw it in the air fryer, kills all the illnesses.
Yeah,
maybe.
Deep frying would work. And then I thought another thing that'd be cool is a Latimer tradition that we've done I don't remember when we started it, but we don't celebrate Halloween. And it's not because we're psycho-religious zealots. It's just we don't think it's like cool to celebrate death and stuff. But we still wanted to have fun. And so we created our own Halloween tradition called Latimerween. How old were the kids when we did that? We just invented our own holiday, and it stuck for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's a thing. Can
Yeah.
you explain that?
Yeah. So I remember when Maverick was little, I was looking for alternatives, and I had found that hotels, especially hotels with water parks that mainly have kids, are cheaper. And so they were like, it was like a $25 special. So we started going to like hotels, and I'd buy snacks and treats, and we just created our own holiday tradition. And actually, this makes me think of a story that's really powerful. And this might help you if your holiday looks a little different than it has in the past. When I was in Costa Rica, I was really battling postpartum depression. And actually, I had celebrated Christmas the year before in Costa Rica, and it was a lot different. The whole environment, the culture, the food, and you don't realize how comforts make you feel. And it's interesting that you are in control of your own traditions. You don't have to keep doing the same traditions. You can start today and say, hey, this is a tradition we're going to make. We're all going to wear pajamas on Tuesday or whatever it might be. You can make your own holiday traditions, and it doesn't matter. You get to start today. You get to be in control of what you do and how you feel. You're not a victim no matter what. And I remember I did get a Christmas tree in Costa Rica, but I did things that made me feel like it was magical. And I still had a magical Christmas, even though it wasn't with family and different things like that, because we get to pick. You know, we used to color Easter eggs, but they weren't Easter eggs, on birthdays for my kids. We call them birthday eggs. Because you shouldn't just color eggs once a year. You should color them every birthday. And so we just made up our own traditions because it makes it fun. It makes it outside of the box. That's why we did Latimer goal setting. And now we do decree night with the Fiersteins, which is really cool. We're doing We're doing decree night. And we do have that PDF. If you want to put Decree 2023, if you want the decree PDF, we will send it to you so you can decree things in 2023. But we're doing that at the new AFN studio,
Yes.
America's First News studio, which is really cool because I think there's like 75 families coming to decree night, and there's Josie is coming and prophesying over everybody, and I think that's actually going to be live. Our decree night, I think, is going to be live this year, which is a little crazy, but still really fun. So.
Whew. I mean, that's a whole conversation we could go into, is like the idea of calling your shot or decreeing it, or if you're a Christian, right? You know, just proclaiming your intentions, right, to God. I think it's a huge deal. Now, we tend to just do this on the New Year or during the New Year time, just like we say we're going to lose 12 pounds, and then we kind of don't, and then we eat fried mozzarella sticks again, leftover ones like Will. But it's a powerful thing to set your intention, you know, on paper, put pen to paper. The first time we did this, it was the Fiersteins family idea. It was insanely epic and powerful. All 5 of our kids, plus us, we had these parchment papers and we like wax sealed it shut. We just recently opened them. They've been sealed for almost the whole year to just read what we had written on these things. And it was
Don't tell
mind-boggling.
Jessica.
Whoa.
She said we're not supposed to open them, but we did crack them open because we
I'm
were
in trouble.
We
We'll talk
did
about
crack
that maybe in the new year, or when we do maybe the next podcast. Maybe we can talk about that. But our encouragement to you is like, call your shot, decree things. You know, life and death is in the power of the tongue. You can create and destroy with words. Words are building blocks. You know, the word universe means one verse, meaning spoken thing, right? If you're created in God's image, right? He's a creator God. That means you're a creator. The things we say are really, 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 really powerful for lots of different reasons. And so do that. And then the last holiday tradition thing on my list was Xmas. Like, I used to get a little bit butthurt when everybody's like, you know, Xmas on everything,
Merry
thinking that
Xmas.
it's like trying to remove Christ from Christmas. Turns out that that's not true, and I didn't know that. X is the Greek letter that means Christ, basically. So it literally, that's like where it came from. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I did know that as of this morning, but I didn't know that before. I always thought it was like, you know, people trying to hijack Christmas. Like, are you trying to hijack Christmas? But come to find out, it's not. It's just a play on words, and we just don't know the Greek
Alphabet?
word. We don't know the Greek alphabet.
Jarrett, have you heard that before, or Will, or Maverick?
I mean, to be honest,
Yeah.
there's a chance that people do hop on the Xmas train to get rid of Christmas, like to get away from God, but it all comes back to God and they don't even know it themselves.
That's probably true. That's probably true. Yeah, and then I don't know. Did you know the word Santa is the same word as Satan? They're just two letters in different spots. But I'm just saying that's not why we're here. Next thing we're going to talk about is the 5 stages of legacy. Ashlee has her Unicorn Squad launch coming up. She's been running this program for almost a year with a bunch of entrepreneur wives. She has a waiting list of other entrepreneur wives, and she's been working diligently in the studio with Jibby Will, creating things and getting everything built and figured out. Because this is your first like business, I guess. It's your passion. You didn't even want it to be a business. You're like, no, I just want to do it for free. I'm like, no, you have to let people have a chance to, invest in themselves so that you can build, an actual program. And you're doing it. And I'm so proud of you. And it's about to go down, right? Are you excited? You getting emotional over there?
Yes, I'm getting emotional. This has probably been one of the most amazing experiences. Hard, very hard. I've always, as an entrepreneur wife, I always thought I understood what the pressure was like and the creative process. And so I apologize to every entrepreneur out there because now that I've taken that step in that, it's a lot heavier than I thought, but it's also super rewarding. And I've seen man, can I be honest with you, Josh?
Yes.
I actually didn't. I kind of wanted to keep it a small, special thing because these women are the most powerful, amazing women. They've had such amazing growth in the year. Like, these are different ladies. Like, there's something very magical that has happened, and their businesses are better, their families are better, their kids are better, and they are on a mission, a mandate, and a purpose to change the world. They have all of these capstone ideas. A lot of them are starting companies, or they're like stepping into their passion and their purpose. And I have to just be honest. Oh, man. I just feel really honored because it's definitely not me. It must be Jesus moving through me because there's no way Ashlee Latimer, could have made something so great like this happen. It's just really beautiful inside there. And so for a long time, I didn't want to open it up to any more people because it was so special because I have a great group of ladies and but that's not fair because there's other ladies crying on their bathroom floor and they're great ladies too and they're unicorns and they deserve a chance to become a unicorn. And so I am really excited and as you can tell, I'm very passionate about it and I think entrepreneur wives are going to be the sexiest thing in 2023. I think it's their turn to help change the world, even if it's clapping and cheering for their entrepreneur. It's going to be entrepreneurs. Your entrepreneur wife is going to be your biggest secret weapon in 2023 if you allow it.
Whew. I don't even know what to say after that.
I didn't know I was going to cry like that. Woo, better drink my Santa cup.
It is true. I mean, I plan on recording a YouTube video later today talking about, different tips for the recession and slowdown and all this stuff going into next year to kind of protect your business. And one of the tips I'm going to use is getting your wife 100% on board. Not just getting her on board to your will, right? It's more about both of you coming into a unified vision of exactly what you're doing, why it matters in the first place, and getting into momentum. I think it's huge. Unicorn Squad is going to be freaking awesome. You already have a waiting list. And the message is going to spread. How do they get on that, by the way, in case they want to get on there?
If you want to get on the waiting list, you go to unicornsquad.com. I do have some bad news about that. Is I do have a wait list, and I think I only have. So one of the things that they get when they join the Unicorn Squad is they get a box, and I think I only have 25 boxes right now. I'm working on securing 25 more. So if you do want to get, and I have more than 25 on my list. Not all of them will buy right away, so it's not, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
But anyways, I do want to add one thing. There's a lot of cool videos that I've been recording, and the one that I'm most excited about, which I don't know when it's going to come out. We could ask Jibby Will, but it's the man in the arena. I did a whole thing about the man in the arena, and I think it's actually one of the best things I've ever done.
Do you have the quote with you? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just it's awesome. I like the man in the arena, but can you read it for people that don't know what it is? And then I don't know what you're talking about.
Entrepreneurs love this. I don't. When is it? Oh, it's going to be January. Shoot. Okay, well, maybe I'll just do a little recap. How about
okay.
that?
Yeah. Do it.
My other video is going to be way more awesome, but I'll give you a recap. This is by Theodore Roosevelt. And entrepreneurs, this one's for you, and then I'm going to give you the unicorn take. The man in the arena, it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But he who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of a high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails with daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
Whew, goosebumps. So good. So what's the unicorn take on it?
Oh, do we have it? What is that? Oh, there's my website. You guys can go on my website if you want to get on the thing. Look at that. Look at how techie we are.
What website? That's not unicornsquad.com, is it?
Yeah. Unicornsquad.com. Look at that.
You know what?
What's up,
Well,
suckers?
I have Ryan updating it, so it might be happening right now. So if it doesn't work, we'll fix it today.
Yeah, so just
Bad timing.
yeah, sorry about that, but
So what's the man in the arena version for the wife?
well, for a long time the man in the arena actually got me a little butthurt, to be honest. And the reason why is because I'm going to cry. Wow. Because it doesn't talk about where his family is or where his wife is. Now, wives, you could be one of the critics in the crowd. Or maybe you're in the arena with him and you have no tools and no weapons and you're just watching him get his keister kicked. Or maybe you're handing him his tools, his weapons. Are you clapping and cheering so he can only hear your voice, and so you tune out the critics, and your entrepreneur, the man in the arena, can hear you clapping and cheering louder? Because the man in the arena is not alone. If you are a married entrepreneur, you have a secret weapon, and it should be your wife. It is your family that you take along the journey who jumps in the arena with you. And maybe they don't go in the ins and outs of your entrepreneur business, but I know many of entrepreneur wives who are answering the phone, who are washing blue towels in the window cleaning industry, who are writing the Christmas cards, who are planning the Christmas celebrations for their businesses. Like, the thing that butt hurt me about the man in the arena is I feel like it's a true story. It just doesn't tell the whole story.
Ooh. I can't wait to see that video. I did not see you record that video.
It's a
Is it it's a tearjerker?
yeah, as you can see, lots of things
it's
are
a good
tearjerking.
segue, because one of the things I want to talk about, because it's towards the end of the year, is what Ashlee and I call the 5 stages of legacy. This isn't something we made up. I would say it's something that we discovered. It's like observable. And so because we've worked with so many entrepreneur families, I mean, I've worked with over 1,000 directly in terms of business coaching and growth like that. We've also worked with, a couple hundred, families on like their family systems and getting a family logo and getting their family into momentum and just cool stuff like that with their marriage. And we definitely don't have all the answers. But one thing that we noticed is this 5-stage thing, right? So I guess the topic is, how do you get into momentum, stay in momentum, and grow? And once you are in momentum and you're growing, can you stay there permanently? The answer is probably not, right? It's going to be like this, right? You ever seen the graphic where it says what people think success looks like, and it's like this? And then it says what success actually looks like, and it's like squiggly lines like this, but it's trending upward. It's trending upward. These 5 things that we've observed will help you trend upward. And when you have a setback, you can correct the patterns and keep going, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do this. And so do you want to share them? Do you want me to share them? Keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what they are. If you want to write this down, this is like mind-blowingly powerful for your family. I'll say what all 5 are, then we'll talk about the 5. Okay, the first thing is called foundation. Second thing is called the frame. The third thing is called the focus. The fourth part is called the friends. And then the last but not least part is called the fire. So we have the foundation, the frame, the focus, the friends, the fire. I'll say it again: the foundation, the frame, the friends, the focus, the friends, the fire. And this works like a loop, okay? So you don't get through them and then you did it. This is a pattern you're going through
cycle.
all the time. So when things are out of whack, you already know what to fix, right? In fire, the fifth one is when you're doing hard things, stepping out in growth mode. You're like writing the book, you're building the business, you're investing the money, you're buying the other company, you're doing something scary in an effort to grow, right? And for your kids, it might mean something else. The fire for them could be them getting up early and working out, or taking nutrition seriously, or reading and learning intellectually more than they ever had. For your wife, it could be something else. When you're in the fire, it's when you're in action. This is the action, is the last one. But what happens is when you're taking massive action, massive imperfect action, the wheels can fall off on accident, right? Sometimes on purpose. No, it's mostly on accident. So what do you fix? Well, it's always these 5 things. So the foundation, what that is it's your connection to God, to yourself, to your wife, to your kids, and then to everybody else in that order, by the way. Right? So the foundation is your connection. Think of a tree that gets cut, or a tree branch that gets cut off of a tree. If it's not connected to the source, it's going to be dead and brown. It really is already dead as soon as it's cut off. It's just still might have green leaves, but not for very long, right? So the connection to your kids and your family, they can get out of whack, right? But there's systems and ways to correct it really, really fast, and at least you know like what to do first. So if things are weird and there's chaos in your house, start with connection, which is foundation, okay? The next one is frame. Frame control for yourself is a huge thing. So in sales and marketing, framing is a whole topic. But in our lives, the frame in which we look at the world through dictates the outcome that we're going to get in a very real way. Some people literally can't see opportunities. They're not bad because they can't see them. They just can't see them. And you'll have 2 people walk by 7 opportunities, and one person sees 7 and one person sees 0 because of their frame. And the frame has to do with your identity, what you think you're worthy of, who you believe that you are, right? Who you believe you're supposed to be or destined to be. If you think that your lot in life is already set, that's a particular frame that is going to ultimately become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So when it comes to your family, the frame is, what does it mean to be a Latimer? Who are we fighting against? Where are we going, right? What are we going to be like when we get there? And it's creating systems and declarations and, core values. There's all these systems and all these things. But so you have the first one as a foundation, then you have the frame, then you have the focus. The focus, a lot of parents don't do goal setting in front of their kids, or they don't call their shot and decree anything in front of their kids. Why not do that? That's what's going to teach your kids on how to, call a shot and then reverse engineer how to get it, regardless if it works out or not. It's just the habit of continuously being a person that has very clear focus on what your target is. If you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. Have you heard that? If you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. Don't do that. And so if your life's out of whack and you're running the business and going hard, it's always going to be one of these things. You're either not clear on exactly what you're aiming at in the first place, or there's an identity issue that's causing you to self-sabotage, right? Either with you or one of the members of your family. So that's your frame. Then we work on that. Or it's connection. You're just not spending enough time with God. You're not spending enough time on date night. You're not spending enough time playing with your kids, talking to your kids, getting on their level. That's that. And then the fourth one is self-explanatory. It's friends. And sometimes you have to perform surgery on relationships. Sometimes you got to do a little snippy. You might have negative people that don't see the world the same way as you do. And as you level up and grow, it gets lonelier in a way because there's less people reaching as high as you are. And it makes people around you uncomfortable to even talk about the dreams and the goals that you have and the sacrifices you're making. And so there could be friends speaking into your life that there shouldn't be, and you need to do an audit of that, right?
Can I add
Yeah.
something to that?
Yep.
We have a really great framework inside of the Unicorn Squad. I don't know if it's a framework, but one of our unicorns, Joe, she calls friends tiers of cakes. And you can
Calls
have
it what?
tiers of cakes. Your friend should be tiers of cakes.
Oh.
So some people think surgery means I can't ever know them again. I have to cut them completely out of my life, which maybe there are some people in your life that you need to do that at. But she calls them tiers of cakes. And as you go higher up, the tiers get smaller because your circle gets smaller. And so they have more access to you than the people on the down below part. Just an idea, just a thought.
I
Just
think
because
that's cool. Yeah, the point of friends isn't to do anything necessarily, but it's to look at who you're giving permission to speak into your life, who your kids have given permission to speak into their life, and your spouse and all that, right? This is a family, the 5 stages of legacy: the foundation, the frame, the focus, the friends, and then of course the fire, which is do hard things. It's like do the thing. Look, the point isn't to do unnecessarily hard things. It's not to become a hardologist and make things hard. That's not what that means. What it means is step outside your comfort zone. And when you're in momentum with your spouse and your family, it's easier to do it. It's still hard. It's still hard, but it's way easier than someone that has no support, no systems at home, anything like that. So, I'm curious what Jarrett and Maverick are thinking. I went on for a long time. Jarrett's never heard any of this teaching, I don't think.
Yeah, I was writing notes.
What stood out to you, or what seemed useful to you? Because you're in a relationship. Eventually, you'll be married and have kids and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What were you thinking as I said all that?
It's really interesting to see like watch like how you guys have done, because I mean obviously like within this last year, I mean even Sean and I both have been a lot more involved like in your guys' family life. We met you guys this year. We've been involved with you guys, and so it's crazy to see like all of the things that you're teaching, but like how you guys literally are living it out all the time. So I mean it's like all these steps and stuff. It's like I've seen you guys are living those steps out.
Well, it's definitely not all the time. It's not. In fact, the last few weeks have just been brutal, right? So I've spent very little time with the boys, with the kids. I've been going through certain hard things. The important thing to remember, though, is that there's nothing abnormal about that. You know, some people won't do anything unless you get perfection, which is crazy because perfection is a fictitious goal to have in the first place because it doesn't exist. But it's a framework, right? So it's like when things get weird, like your family can bear a certain level of disconnection for a time, for a season. But if it goes too far, it breaks. You have to go back, fix the foundation, the frame, the focus, all the things.
And I will say something about the foundation and the frame real quick. You know, it's like bumper bowling. People are talking about family systems and they're like, do I really need family system? Your family is already fully systemized. It just depends if those systems are serving you or not. So it is a good idea. Taking a little extra work and creating at least some identity systems and some connection systems can help you go through hard times. I mean, the reason why we even started creating some of these family systems is because we were drowning. We were dying. And like we had to do it or we were going to like push the eject button on being married because it was too hard. And so adding these systems is like protecting yourself for when you do go through hard times. Like we have had a few hustle grind weeks that are a little bit crazy. And so having good family systems is a good framework, like the frame, the identity. Like our kids know who they are and we can just tweak them a little bit. Like even though the weeks have been a little off, all we have to do is tweak it and we're going right back to where we were. So there's never a better time than the present to add a system. I mean, you don't need...
Especially this time of year. It's just a perfect time to do a fresh fart.
Yeah, that's one of them right there.
You think I said fresh start. I said fresh fart because... Tell them why. That was just a funny, silly sidebar, but...
You know, one time, I don't remember exactly where it was, but the wheels were falling off, and my husband said, hands in, we're going to say fresh start, because we just needed to be reset. Because you know what that feels like, where it feels like there's a raging monster inside of you, and nothing's going right, and you freaked out on your kids, and then they're freaking out on each other, and it's just a whole stress ball of anxiety, right? And we had put our hands in, and we had little boys at the time, and so we chanted fresh fart instead. Like one of them said fart, and then we were like, this is a fresh fart system. And so sometimes you just need a fresh fart. You need to just let it go and just laugh. And I think connection is really good. Connection for spouses is really important. Re-engaging time together is really important, and it makes you a power couple. So like, I'm not saying that, I mean, you need systems. You already have them, but you need them desperately. Can I tell a funny story?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to make fun of myself.
I love it. That's my favorite.
I'm going to pull it in with marketing. Okay?
Okay.
Let's see if I can do this funny story with marketing and all the things. Okay? Nobody knows the story except for my husband, so he's going to already start laughing. So my husband and I went out on date night this last weekend. And we went to this place called Legacy West in Dallas, and we went to Haywire, which is my husband's favorite restaurant in Dallas. He loves it. It's his favorite. But there happens to be a Starbucks Reserve. Now, there's only 6 Starbucks Reserves in the entire world. And a reserve is like a very, I want to say bougie, but we found out a few episodes ago that bougie actually isn't high class, but it's like a really special thing to have a reserve. They only have reserve beans, and they have a certain black coffee. And a reserve Starbucks has its own logo, everybody. Like, if you didn't know this, people travel all over just to go to reserve Starbucks. Well, I have been up and down that strip, and I've never popped in there because I didn't know why it was so busy. Do you know what I'm going to say?
No, actually, I don't.
You don't know what
I
I'm
mean,
going
I know
to
what
say.
you're talking about. We were just there a few days
And
ago.
so it is swanky, okay? It is, Starbucks already has like, you need to know the language, the branding, the verbiage. It's already got its own vibe. And so, but the Reserve is so swanky. It is like extra. Like, you can see who spent extra on their coffee because they have a black Reserve cup. Like, it's so awesome. And it's got a different menu, everybody. And supposedly they have this one that has ice cream and you pour it all over, and it's supposed to make your butt tickle. I don't know. I don't know. That was inappropriate. Forgive me, Lord. But anyways, I'm like reading the different menu because I know the normal Starbucks menu, but I don't know this menu. Are you know where I'm getting at yet?
Nope.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is a Saffron coffee? Oh, I
Oh, yeah.
want a Saffron. And I'm like reading all these words that I think I know because I am the Starbucks Reserve person now because I've been in there for at least 7 minutes. And so now I'm like, I'm going to get a Saffron coffee. Oh my gosh. Do you drink your coffee like Saffron? And I'm like, just like saying this name. And my husband goes, are you talking about the word siphon?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all, I just was so into the bougie. Everybody's wearing their golden goose and their Louis Vuitton with their black cups, and I thought it was Saffron. And praise Jesus, I asked the lady, I talked to my husband before I ordered the Saffron because she would have been like, what in the frick, lady? What in the frick? But yeah, words matter, and the environment matters. The whole aroma and black cups, and certain people are having black cups and not. You can do this kind of stuff in your business. I think it's like nonverbal signals. Isn't that what it is? Is nonverbal signaling of the nuances of, like certain people had black cups and certain people didn't, and whatever. Like, I'm a reserve Saffron person.
Can I interject? This is kind of an old joke, but you kind of remind me of the Philip Mignon guy. You know what I'm saying?
Philip Mignon.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't see you on the camera.
Oh.
Philip Mignon.
The
Yes.
Philip
That's from a
Mignon.
movie. I can't remember what movie it was. It's some guy that like escaped out of prison or something, and he's from, the hood, and he's ordering at this 5-star restaurant. He's like, yeah, bring me some of that Philip Mignon. I think I actually told that to Ashley when she said Saffron. But
Wow.
that actually is a good segue because we're going to end the podcast today giving some tips, business tips, 2023 business growth tips. Super simple stuff you can do to make more money. But I do want to recap the 5 stages super fast. Is there something else I forgot?
Yeah, I just got word from the team that the Man in the Arena is going to be pushed till tomorrow. So if you want to see the Man in the Arena that I had recorded, my whole full-length thing, my encouragement, my unicorn encouragement, it will be somewhere where you can, if you
YouTube.
go
It'll be
subscribe,
on your
if you can
YouTube
go
channel.
subscribe, I know I have a YouTube channel. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the bell, do all the things, then you can see the Man in the Arena.
What's your
And-
YouTube handle?
It is
Will?
at the Unicorn Squad.
At the
Unicorn
Unicorn Squad on YouTube. Just launched it. Got some cool stuff cooking over there. Okay, cool.
And the better stuff is coming. I have to tell you. I think I was nervous before. I was nervous, but now it's getting into the guts. The real entrepreneurhood, wifehood
Good.
stuff.
Okay, let's recap the 5 stages of legacy and make sure you got it. You have the foundation, the frame, the focus, the friends, the fire. What stage are you in right now? What thing is obviously needing to be repaired, fixed, enhanced, improved upon? I bet you're already thinking it as you even watch this. Is it your connection with God, yourself, your spouse, your kids, or your friends, or your family? Is it your identity and your worthiness? Is that what it is? Do you believe you were made on purpose for a purpose, that have a mission, mandate, purpose, and destiny? If you don't, it makes it harder to do big things. And then, of course, your focus, your targets. What are you aiming at? And then the friends, maybe do a friend audit. Be careful who you let speak into your life. And then, of course, step into the fire, meaning do hard things. That's what that is. Hopefully that was helpful to somebody. And then we can go to 2023 business tips. You ready?
I am so ready.
Tip number 1, quit. Go get a job. It's way
Wait.
more secure.
What?
It's way more
These
secure.
are your tips? These are
Yeah.
the worst tips ever.
No, just give up. It's really hard.
No.
Yeah, inflation.
No.
things are-
Entrepreneurship is the best vehicle.
I don't know. A lot
Hands
of
down.
people fail. I would walk away. Cut your losses, No, I'm just kidding.
What
I'm
in
totally
the
kidding.
world?
I'm totally kidding, obviously. First tip is to prepare to be noisy. So when there's a slowdown, there's opportunity everywhere, but what your gut core reaction is going to want to be is to shrink back, cut everything, be quiet, go hide in the corner, and kind of wait till the storm passes. Don't do that. If you've ever heard the story of buffaloes, which everybody uses now, it's actually originated from freaking Elena Ledoux. What, Elena? At least that's where I heard it from. Buffaloes run into storms. Cows run away from storms, which is really interesting. So when they see this massive storm formation rolling over the plains, the cows will turn around and try to run away. And by doing that, they stay in the storm longer, right? Because they're moving with it. Buffaloes charge it, they head right in, which is just a cool metaphor for business, right? So going into next year, be more proactive than you've ever done. But a big part of it is preparing yourself to just be noisy, to make a ruckus, or as I sometimes call it, to showcase your elephant, which is a P.T. Barnum reference. P.T. Barnum was the second millionaire in the United States. He was also the first person to get an elephant over here to the United States, as far as we can tell. And he used it as a marketing tool to get people to buy tickets to his museum. And there's a whole thing you can watch online. I think I just published a YouTube video about that as well. I'm pretty sure, or it's going up right now. But be more noisy. Do people even know what you do? How noisy are you really? Because what I see a lot of small businesses do is they do a little bit of stuff. They'll do an email blast of like an email. First of all, never send a email. You send a sequence of emails, and you couple it with text messages, and you couple it with social, and you make a campaign, first of all. But they'll do that like in the spring, then their phone starts ringing. They don't do anything. Then when they slow down, they'll spend a bunch of money on direct mail, and they're doing everything backwards. They don't market when people want to buy, and then you get really quiet when people want to buy because they're busy. You got to like break out of that trap. Be enthusiastic, show up in the world. Okay, that's my first tip. Do you have any questions about that, Ash?
I do have a question, but it's not about your tip. It's just about, why do you think that people don't send enough emails? Do you think it's because they're worried they're going to get haters, or they're going to do it wrong, or they're going to use the wrong words? Like, do you think fear is really the thing that's holding people back? Because like, one thing I noticed is that people, like, there was somebody that came up to us at ClickFunnels, and he was like, I just have to say, I love how you don't take your hater comments down. He goes, genius. Because our hater comments give us more likes and give us more things, and it gives us actually a bigger audience. And so being noisy, and there's like one that someone's like, hey, your grammar's wrong. Well, the grammar police boost our algorithm every time. So now my husband's misspelling things and doing things on purpose just because he wants it to boost it. So do you think people are just so worried about what they'll look like? They'll spell something wrong. They'll do something wrong. And is that why you think they're not emailing enough, or just because it takes too much time? Or like, what do you think that the hang up is for everybody?
I think people have different reasons. I think the biggest one is a misunderstanding of how much control you have over your own growth. I think small business owners just think that it's happening to them, right? And they're not happening to it. The difference between the word conform and transform is like really profound. That'll just blow your minds just for 2 seconds, right? If you think about conforming, right, the Bible says don't be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. In business, conforming means that you think there's outside forces acting on you. It's like a die in auto manufacturing. Like there's like massive pressure per square inch. It stamps a piece of steel, and it's conforming the steel, which was flat, and now it's a body panel. And we think that that's what's happening with our business. So we look at things like the recession, And we're like, hopefully I survive it. Hopefully it works out, as if we're just kind of a boat drifting in the sea and we have no control. Now, we don't have control over every single thing. I'm not some name it and claim it, woo woo, you can just have whatever you want. No, but you have like massive control. Being noisy, doing marketing is useful. It like works. That's why big companies are primarily marketing companies that just happen to sell whatever it is that they sell. Like the Red Bull example, they're just a big marketing agency that happens to sell cans of $4 liquid. That's literally what's happening. But small business owners just think the demand in their market is only organic and it's only is what it is. No, you can manufacture demand by being noisy. You can create it. So that's what conforming is. Transforming, on the other hand, is when you are the thing with force imposing your will on the world around you, right? Transformation is inside out. Confirmation is outside in.
Oh,
It's a whole thing, people.
Preach it.
So maybe I'll do a video on that on YouTube.
Yeah. Frick yeah.
But that's what I think. I don't think they think it will work. But and they also have a misunderstanding of how much of it to do. And you got to do lots. You got to be noisy. It's like you bang your pots and pans. People have to know you exist. I forget where I heard the reference about a parade, but people
I
think
think
that
it was Russell, wasn't it?
Russell.
It may be in
I
Traffic
did
Secrets.
hear it from Russell, but
You don't know who
I
it
can't
was?
remember who it originated from.
Okay.
But basically, marketing is not you speaking to a captive audience. So you'll send out your direct mail or you will put out your Facebook video and you think people care. First of all, nobody cares and they're not really paying attention. But we almost treat it as if we had 100 people in a room sitting with a notepad, waiting to hear what you have to say, waiting to hear your offer. That's not what's happening. So we're like, hello, we're a 20-year-old family business and we can clean your carpet for $49. And they're like, oh, okay, they'll consider that. And then all 100 people really listen to you and then they leave and no one buys. And because you think that, you get emotionally devastated. like you take it personal, like there's something wrong with you. If there's nothing wrong with you, you're not broken, you don't need to be fixed. You're just marketing too little, too quiet, and not often enough. So the better way to look at it is if you're standing on a sidewalk as a parade walks by. So the 100 people are walking by in front of you. They're looking that way. They don't care about you. And you're not the only one on the sidewalk making noise. There's a bunch of people, not just your competitors, but other businesses. And so the game of marketing has to do with a lot of things, timing and targeting and messaging and nuance and the offer and urgency and scarcity and the design and the copy and the call to action. There's a lot of skills you can learn that'll make you a lot of money. But even doing a little bit more will get you a result. Or what if you did 4 times more? It would get you a result. Not just a result financially, but it'd help you learn the game of it. How do you stand on the sidewalk as a parade walks in front of you, capture more attention than you did last time, and thereby grow your business? It's useful. That's my first tip for 2023, grow your business. I'll have to do the next 2 pretty quick because we're going to get ready to wrap up. No, it's okay. We still have a few minutes. The second tip is to upgrade your nuance. And I wish you would have saved the Starbucks story for this, because really the Starbucks Reserve is all about nuance. Meaning, like, what is nuance in a small company? Well, it's not if you answer your phone, it's how you answer your phone. It's not if you get the service performed for the client, it's how you do it. It's the deep rabbit hole of stacking hows and nuanced things on top of each other. So like you can go buy a steak at a lot of different restaurants, but the nuance, the ambience, everything about a high-end, $200 a meal steakhouse is different than Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
Do they even sell steak and Shake? I think they sell burgers, steak burgers. So nuance in your business is how you answer the phone, the scripting, the voice inflection, the mirroring, the pacing, the tonality. Like you could spend an hour thinking through how to refine just that first thing. And that's meaningful for your business. And the downtime for a lot of companies is in the winter. And this is a perfect time to look at stuff like this, is just to get creative and say, how can I be extraordinary with the first phone call itself, just that one thing, or the first email, or the web form submission, or if you run Facebook ads and they submit a lead, what is something you can do to just be noticeably and slightly better at this one tiny thing? That's nuance, right? The way you show up to their house, the way your email signature looks, the way you freaking smell, the way everything is a nonverbal signal or could be construed as nuance. The nice restaurants have heavier silverware. They have a dedicated water person who pours water out of a glass bottle instead of just going and disappearing and bring it to you in a cup. That's nuance. It creates perceived value. And when you go through your business and you create a better experience, not perfect, but better, you can charge more money and get it. And people won't even question it. I think the perfect scenario for a service company specifically is to be so good at this that when they're $300 more than the other two quotes the person got, that the homeowner's pleasantly surprised you're only $300 more, right? It should feel like you're going to be $1,000 more, and they go, "Oh, wow, only 300 more, amazing," right? And that's what Starbucks Reserve is trying to do with the different, top shelf.
Working.
I don't drink coffee. I think coffee's insane. I don't understand it. But watching what they do with the different cups, the status, they have a section. Like if you buy the more fancier Reserve stuff, you get it from they make it in a different section.
with a different cup.
Yeah, and you can
I
see
have the black cup, everybody.
Oh, that guy is a peasant, and that person is the Reserve person. It's just fascinating. But we can apply these things in our business. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think about this in everything. So I'm married to a marketing nerd, entrepreneur / marketing aficionado. So now I can't look at anything without noticing marketing. Like even you can tell when people are dating the nuances that they do. Like the way the girl smells and shows up and like I'm not going to just throw anybody under the bus, but I could tell like when certain people are going on dates that are in the studio because they show up a little different. Okay?
LOL.
They smell a little different. They like not that they have
They
a bad
brush their
they don't
tooth that
they don't
day.
have a bad smell anyways. And I'm like, "Oh, you're going somewhere. You looking too good. Something's in the air." Okay? And so that I go everywhere and I see marketing. And I think this is the truth of the matter is sometimes in the service industry, we think, "Oh, this is how much everybody's charging." And so they think they have to just be the lowest price. And they forget that some people shop at Walmart and some people shop at Nordstrom's.
Yeah.
And do you want Walmart customers or do you want Nordstrom customers?
I just pulled a stat. I think it was $6.3 million per hour in profit is what Apple makes. Per hour in profit, not revenue, profit. And I can't remember if it was per day or per hour. I think it's per hour. But Dollar General makes like a couple $100,000 per hour in profit. And they sell totally different things to totally different people. They're both doing okay? The owners, they're okay. Their rent is paid. They're succeeding, right? And there's always two sides to the ledger with anything that's being sold by anyone to anyone. Yes, price matters, especially in certain markets, okay? But you can manipulate it by manipulating this side of the ledger. This is just what they pay, okay? It is what it is. If your price is higher and they're lower, that's tough, right? But this side of the ledger is what they get. Here's what they think they get from you. Here's what they know they have to pay you. And so when they're comparing you to all these other things, they're thinking both parts of this subconsciously. They're like, okay, I got to pay $49 for X or $51 for X or $67 for this other thing. It's an X, but it's not just an X. And it's because this is the perception, the status, the nuance, the nonverbal signaling, the messaging, the way you stack, the way you articulate what you have for sale increases the value of what's for sale. Right? It takes it from a transaction to an experience. It takes we could talk for 17 hours on this. My second tip is really simple. Look at the nuance for your business. From the phone to the 5-star review and everything that happens in between with your staff, right? With the way you're perceived, with your literature. How thick is the piece of paper you give the customer? Should we make it thicker? Will it make you $1 million? No. But if you do 50 of these things and you stack them up on top of each other, you're going to have a better, stronger brand and ultimately make more money, which is awesome. I want that for you. And then the third tip here as we get ready to land the plane is to refresh your offers. Refresh your offers. And what I mean is don't just go sell new stuff, but change the way you articulate what it is you've always been selling. What's the name of your package? Do you have packages for the different bundles of services that you have, or do you just have transactions? We'll run your Facebook ads for this. It's $500. We run, or is it the super platinum, flux capacitor bundle, which includes the first thing is your Facebook ads, but using the Wallace method to do this thing. And then the second thing is you get this, and then you get this 30-day account review, and then you get this. So creating a stack, articulating what's for sale in the first place more powerfully. Also going into the recession, another thing that can be helpful is if you have a bunch of packages that are named like luxury package, okay, which is popular in home services, consider testing different names of those packages. When there's an economic downturn, people feel weirder buying luxury goods. Not always. You could test it though. What if the next 10 estimates you did, instead of calling it the luxury package, you called it the essentials package, right? Because psychologically they feel like they're being a responsible homeowner by getting the essentials instead of splurging on the luxury.
Ooh,
And there's-
good. Do that tip, everybody. Write that one down. Say it again for all the people in the back row.
Just a name change by itself creates instant value. And so it's worth thinking about. Shouldn't get stressed out about it. It's just a fun thing to do. And that's it. Those are our 3 tips.
Can I tell you, I'm going to use a relationship one. Are you ready, everybody? Here's my relationship offer. Up your offer. I got a hot pink Latimer beanie. It's a new Do Hard Things beanie. I wore it. It changed my offer to my husband. He was like, yes, I love this. Sometimes you just need to spice up your offer, ladies and gentlemen.
You were looking good.
Oh, he was like, I want that. I was like, it's the same thing you've had every day for the last 20 years. And he's like, doggy. So if you want to spice up some other areas, change up your offer a little bit.
Well, hey, if you've got this far, thank you for hanging out with the Josh and Ashlee Show. We're still figuring out what we're doing with this, but we're having fun. We're getting practice and experience and video production. I want to thank the Warplan Studios team. They're working their butts off. It's actually pretty complicated to do this, and we're streaming into different places, and we're figuring it out. So I'm thankful for Jibby Will and Sean and Jarrett and Mavericks back there running the switcher. You guys are awesome.
And we've been super busy having events at Warplan Studios. We're open up at the Warplan Collective, and you've been doing Warplan Insiders. Like, we've been doing a lot
There's
of
a
things.
lot of Warplan things coming.
There's a lot of Warplan things
We also
coming.
have Jason, our staff photographer over here. He's just taking, power shots of Ashlee while we're recording this.
I hope so. And
Look,
Power
if
Shops.
if you want to come to Warplan Studios, if you want to do big things in business, or if you need help, I don't know, it depends. But if you want to make an extra $1 million next year, then send me a message. We can talk about it. It's not inexpensive. There's a serious investment required, but we are set up with the tools, resources, and staff here to do crazy stuff for people. And we're having a lot of fun. So, Ash, did you want to pray us out?
I do want to pray us out. I do want to say Merry Christmas to everybody because it's going to be the Christmas season. And so I hope you have the best Merry Christmas, best entrepreneurial Merry Christmas, entrepreneurial family. Remember to, if you need to reset the room, this is the perfect time to do it, to create your own traditions. Today is a day that you can start a new tradition and have it be a start to something really epic. Hopefully you're getting 2023 ready in this Christmas season. But and then I do have one final thought too, is if you want to be in our circle of things that we're doing, we have some really cool things that we haven't even shared yet, and we want you to be a part of it. If you love business, marriage, family, God, and you want to change the world, and you feel like you've been put on this earth to do a mission, a mandate, and a purpose, to either speak on stages or write books or to, have your own TV show or whatever it might be, we have some really cool things coming out. And if you want to know more, just find us anywhere. I feel like we're everywhere on the internet right now. So just find us there because we have some really cool things coming, and we want you to be a part of it. We want you to be along on this journey because we don't want to do it alone. You are our friends. If we aren't friends on Facebook, friend request us, find us. We want to know your story, because that's what matters, is entrepreneur stories of people changing the world. And so that's just my power for that.
I love it.
I'm just passionate about, I just think in this time, sorry, I'm just going on my own rant. Ready for my TED Talk, everybody. But here's the thing is, the world is a dark, scary place. And it's not dark when people like you stand up and say, let's change the world. Entrepreneurs are going to be the ones that change the world. The good ones. The good Christian ones. So, good family ones. Okay, let's pray. Sorry, my TED Talk there. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for dying on the cross, Lord. We love you and we worship you. We honor you and praise you. God, I just thank you for all the things that you're doing in our life and in the lives of others watching this, Lord Jesus. Lord, I just pray that you pour out your favor and your blessing, Lord, that you heal the hurting. Lord Jesus, when people feel broken in this time, that you would come in and heal all of the broken places. Lord Jesus, we just thank you so much that we get to celebrate the birth of a Savior, the Savior. Jesus, let us remember that this is about you, that you are the greatest gift. Jesus, we just pray for the widows and the orphans, that you would comfort them in this season, that people would have encounters with you, and that the Holy Spirit and the fruits of the Spirit would shine bright, and we would remember. Lord Jesus, I just pray for all the Christians, that they would be the calling card of Christ. Lord, forgive us for the things that we have done that haven't been the calling card. The division and divisiveness, I rebuke in the name of Jesus. Lord, I just pray that you bring people together. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. See you guys next week.
Yeah. Go team.
Bye.